Everything is concentrated on the razor's edge. And you forget the score, you forget where you are. I feel that my body's floating within myself.
In an era defined by barriers of race, class, and opportunity, one man rose above them all with grace, intellect, and unshakable purpose. His name was Arthur Ashe, a quiet storm who transformed both tennis and society.
Arthur Ashe, bright young member of the United States Davis Cup team.
Born in 1943 in segregated Richmond, Virginia, Ashe grew up in a world that constantly reminded him of its limits. Yet within those boundaries, he found his freedom, a tennis racket, and a dream. Coached by local mentors who recognized his brilliance early on, young Arthur trained on segregated courts, often barred from competing in tournaments reserved for white players. Still, he refused bitterness. Instead, he refined his game, precise, strategic, and unflinchingly calm. By the 1960s, that discipline turned into dominance.
Arthur Ashe, the first black player to win the men's Wimbledon singles title.
In 1968, amid a nation divided by civil unrest, Arthur Ashe made history, becoming the first black man to win the U.S. Open, a victory that transcended sport and became a symbol of quiet revolution. He went on to conquer the Australian Open in 1970 and Wimbledon in 1975, defeating the world's best not just with power, but with intellect and integrity. Yet Ashe's greatest victories weren't only measured in trophies. Off the court, he became a global voice for justice, speaking out against apartheid in South Africa, founding programs for inner-city youth, and advocating fiercely for education and healthcare. He used his platform not for applause, but for change, believing that true greatness lay in the lives one could uplift. In 1992, when Ashe revealed he had contracted HIV from a blood transfusion, the world braced for tragedy, but he turned pain into purpose, founding the Arthur Ashe Foundation for the Defeat of AIDS, transforming personal struggle into public service. Until his final days, he faced the world with the same calm courage that defined his serve. Arthur Ashe's influence rippled far beyond the tennis court. He challenged stereotypes simply by being himself.
And you're an amateur, but yet your life is tennis.
Measured, intelligent, and unafraid to speak truth with dignity. In a time when rage was often the loudest weapon, Ashe showed that quiet conviction could move mountains.
If you want to be a tennis player, you have to, in effect today, leave the black community, because the typical black community does not have the wherewithal to produce a Wimbledon champion.
His leadership inspired generations of athletes to see themselves as more than competitors, as voices for change. Today, his name graces stadiums, scholarships, and community centers around the world. Each bears witness to a legacy built not on applause, but on purpose. To this day, when young players lift a racket for the first time, they're lifting the dream Ashe made possible, a dream of equality, excellence, and the courage to stand tall, even when the world tells you to sit down. Arthur Ashe passed away in 1993, but his spirit endures. As a champion, a teacher, a pioneer, he didn't just play the game, he redefined it. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Arthur Ashe. Like, share, and subscribe for more biographies of foundational Black Americans.